Well, although this is neither Latin or Dutch, today we will be making a salad that I call, or should I say, is my version of the Greek salad, here with Latin Dutch. So start with 10 ounces of cherry tomatoes, and this is perfect when they're in season by March or April. Half a red onion, 8 ounces of feta cheese, and it is important you get a fresh one. I bought this one at the market with this kind Greek lady that brings it fresh every week. 4 ounces of black olives. Make sure you get the seedless ones. A teaspoon of dehydrated oregano and salt and pepper to taste. And this will be super easy to make. To begin with, and of course after diligently washing your tomatoes, we pull them out of their vines and proceed to dice them in fourths. And even though this looks easy, you'll need a super sharp knife to avoid squeezing them instead of dicing them. In case you can't find cherry tomatoes, feel free to use any other kind, but the smaller and the sweeter the better. Now let's move to our olives, and you cut them in halves as you see here. Or, alternatively, you can also do slices. I'll pick the easy path and do halves. And while I got this fresh from the market, feel free to use the canned ones from the supermarket. So as you can see now, I've placed everything in a bowl. So we can shift our attention to the cheese, which instead of chopping it, I'm using my fingers to crumble it. And a bit more about feta, in case you're wondering, this is a sheep cheese, hence the color, freshness, and citrusy profile that makes it so unique. While feta is a Greek cheese, there are also similar versions in the neighboring countries, like Bulgaria, Turkey, Romania. And this is one of the European cheeses with an appellation of origin, which means that only those produced in Greece can be called feta cheese. Here you can see the size of the crumbles I'm making, and if one of them is larger than the other, worry not, life goes on. So we can go now to the onion, which we will cut first in half, and then peel it, and then thinly slice it. Here you can see that I'm trying to get them as thin as possible, almost transparent if you will. So these slices are so easy to split apart just with your hands, as you can see I'm doing here. Why, you ask? Well, that way we can evenly distribute them and don't end up with a portion of salad full of onion and the other portion just without any of it. Here I can show you how my salad is doing. So we move to our next step, which is the dressing. I start with the oregano, and as I mentioned before, I'm using the dehydrated one, but the fresh one would be even better. After, we follow with the olive oil. And in line with the character of this salad, I suggest to use a fresh and citrusy one. With a mortar and pestle, I ground a couple of black peppercorns and sea salt. I always say, freshly ground black pepper gives a fragrant touch that has the power to highlight your dishes. Then we just have to mix it all. And I'm using a spatula, which in hindsight, it's probably not the right tool to do this, but use whatever you have. And while I do that, you'll notice that the cheese starts to crumble even further, coating your tomatoes with all its flavor. And as you see now, it's all infused and delicious. I hope you like this recipe and you get to make it at home. Let us know in the comments if you have a different version of this Greek salad. So my friends, that concludes our video today. Thank you again for following our channel Latin Dutch. I hope you get to watch the next one.